Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Look at Danny smiling. Looks like Danny's at work already. She's got her. Look at that. Just amazing. What do they call the? I don't want to say smocks. I don't think they're called smocks. What are they? What are they called? What are they called? She's trying to find the mute button.
Scrubs.
Scrubs. I don't know what I was thinking. Looks like Stephanie's got some scrubs on too. Look at that smiling over there. What up, Heather? Robin. Good morning to you, Robin. Karen. Bethany's driving, smiling. She's Uber mom right there. What up, Patrick? Good morning to you. Jackie. Holy smokes, Jackie. That hair looks absolutely amazing. It looks like you probably spent some time on that hair today. Is that Jackie was texting me this morning. She had to change up her routine. She's got a video shoot today. She's got a video shoot today for her new listing. Good old James. James taking care of her, getting some pictures and videos. I love our family. I love our family and how everybody works together and helps each other. Good morning, Carol, Wendy. Good morning, Mr. Castor. Mr. Castor is coming up. Guys, what a big day I have today. So Mike's coming up from Alabama. I got Cullen. Poor Cullen. He has no idea what he's in for. Cullen said it was okay. I said, Cullen, I just want you to know the week that you come, brother, I have my kids and it's all hands on deck. I got soccer. He's like, no, man, I'll go with you. I'll do it. He's staying with me till Saturday. I'll keep you posted if he's still around on Friday, all because we'll see. We'll see how long he lasts. But I'm really excited to have him. And then Thursday night off, you're in Charlotte and you got a puppy, you got a dog. And even if you don't, you still can come. But Cullen and Mike and several of us, I don't know, I think there's like 5 or 6 of us right now. We're meeting up here in Cornelius and hanging out and having a good old time. And just, we always see Cullen on Zoom, but to be able to see him face to face is really cool. So, good morning to everybody. My name is Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, and a DAD. And I just want to share with you something really quickly. And I'm going to get Chris on here because Chris is one of our leaders. I'm going to share with you this transition, but I got to give a shout out to Amy Kane. So Amy Kane did the step test. And I just want to tell you how psychotic I am. I just want to tell you the messed upness I have in the head. So it's 6,000 steps. And so as I see what's going on in the Facebook posts and people doing this is how my brain thinks. Okay. So this is what goes on in my head. And I did my 6,000 steps and I had my tracker on and I got it. I don't know, it must have been like 5 o'clock when I got my 6,000 steps. And I said, I wonder how many miles it is. And then I looked it up and I'm like, I could do better than that. I'm like, what am I doing? So this morning I woke up, I said, I want to see how fast I can get to 6,000 steps to try to like be competitive with myself on how fast I can do it. So I got my 6,000 steps in before 7 o'clock this morning. So I already reached my goal. And so now I'm all excited. I already hit my goal. But the point of it is what is it that is your goal? We talked about it this week. What is the goal? What is your vision? What are you trying to get at? What are you trying to perform? What are you trying to do? As silly as it is for the step test, what is it that you have today? What is your goal that you have? And that's been really our big theme all week this week on the podcast show. And if you haven't gone to seen some of our episodes this week, go back to my YouTube channel to watch the recordings for what we're doing. So shouts out to those that are doing the step test. Shout out to those that also are putting in their goals that they did in the Facebook. If you haven't done it, put your September goals in there and what you want to do with this or end of the year goals for what you're doing. Some of you did it yesterday, so shout out to you. So our Wednesday show now all you know, there's a rotation. And our rotation is things that we forecast. Okay. I'm a visionary. I want to see what's in the future for what we have. And it's important for me that you see who the leaders are. It's important for me that you know the main ingredients who are in my life and what they do for my business. Chris being in the lending world and how he helps me come up with the creative financing and he works in different states. All if you haven't gotten in touch with Chris, I'm gonna tell Chris to put his stuff in the chat here. But Chris and I have been friends now for a couple of years. He was a Rosario. Chris was a Rosario. What does that mean? It means what I did to Chad and Rosario did to me, Chris did to me. And he was relentless in touching base with me and following up with me. Amazing strategy that I feel that caught my attention. And he's like, "Hey man, I'm doing an event. Why don't you come here? Hey man, what are you doing? Hey man, what do you got?" And that's what really cultivated our relationship, which then transferred into business and now transferred into one of our speakers that has been in our summit and is going to be once again speaking at our Nashville summit. And our Nashville summit, all just to let you know, I'm so excited. You're going to get a release of the news, all the speakers very shortly. I'm at 17 speakers,
Boom.
17 speakers that we have. And we're going to be putting together some workshops that we're going to have some breakout rooms this time. And it is going to be something that you are going to be so full of, just like you just got done having the most amazing dinner. That's how you're going to feel when you leave Nashville. So we're going to be putting the early bird ticket special prices in there. So Jay, if you could put that link in there. But that's how I met Chris. And so Chris is going to be with us now all on the first Wednesday of each month. And he's going to be sharing and impacting us all on what he's going to be leading up to into January. So you guys get to know him. You guys get to feel what he talks about. He also lines up with culture. He's a bishop in his church. So as far as spiritually, he aligns up exactly how our culture is. He's a man of Christ. He's an amazing husband, amazing dad, and he's really good at his job and how he works with lenders. I mean, being a lender and not only a lender, but a broker to find such creative financing for people because there's strategies and things he fixes that I'm just like, I don't even know how you did that, but I'm not even gonna ask. Just tell me it's a clear to close. So without further ado, you all met him last week, but I just wanted to share with you a little bit about the vision, what we got going on. I want to give you guys the whole the gamut so you can see where we're going and growing with this. So put some fives in the chat. Put some fives in the chat as we welcome our main man, Mr. Chris Reshetar. Good morning, brother.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay, Brock?
I got you loud and clear, man.
Great.
Loud and
Excellent.
clear.
Super excited to be back here with you today. I don't know if your listeners know that I used to have a radio show in Charlotte on ESPN for 5 years. So I was in front of the mic every single week. I was on Sunday, ESPN's at 10 o'clock every Sunday morning, and I had realtors on my show all the time. And so kind of being on your show brings back those days when I had that radio show running. So I appreciate the opportunity to serve you in this way. And thank you for that intro. That was a very kind, humbling intro. I take my job as a loan officer and bishop, all these things as just really opportunities to serve those around me. And it's really humbling every day when I can see the small impacts and how it makes our clients feel and how it makes our realtors feel. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about impact today, Brock. And so I read my favorite book this year that I read was called Unreasonable Hospitality, and it's called The Secret of Standing Out in Sales. It's by the author Will Guidara. And his basic story, Brock, is he went to
Wait, hold on. Say it again. I didn't have my notebook here. Somebody else is probably trying to write it down. What was the name of the
Will
book?
Guidara, Guidara, and it's called Unreasonable Hospitality. So it's kind of the foundation for what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be hitting like what is hospitality in sales. We're going to talk about how is hospitality a growth strategy. And the other thing we're going to talk about is branding as hospitality. And it's a story of a young guy who went to what's that university in Ithaca, New York? It's not an Ivy League, but I'm trying to remember now.
Cornell, seriously,
Cornell. Yeah, Cornell.
you
Thanks.
know, Ithaca, this is crazy. Ithaca is like 20 minutes from my hometown, and it's where Cortland State and Ithaca were the biggest Division III football rivalries in the country, and I played football for Cortland. And
Got it.
so Cortland and Cornell, because they're both C's and they're literally right next to each other, it's kind of funny you say this because Cornell is the Ivy League and Cortland is the Jock League.
That's
And so
correct.
they're like, "You went to Cornell?" I'm like, "Oh no,
And
I
I
went
never
to the
told you
Jock
this, but
School."
I got offered a scholarship by Cortland when I was in high
Really?
school. I almost went there.
Wow, that's crazy.
Anyway, cool stuff.
Yeah.
So it's called Unreasonable Hospitality, Brock, and it was my favorite read so far for the year. A lot of business books are all about, all of these techniques and strategies, and you're trying to get them implemented, and it gets a little overwhelming. This guy just kind of tells this story. So he goes to Cornell. He manages. He gets a degree in restaurant hospitality. And then along the way, he manifests these relationships of people who are in the restaurant industry. And his goal was to, own and operate or run and operate a restaurant in New York City. Not only did he do that, but he got to this dream restaurant and then took the restaurant ranking to Michelin star ranking and the #1 restaurant in the world.
Mm.
And so the book just talks about all these layered concepts on how they created and delivered an experience for the customer. And that experience they created led them to being the top restaurant in the world. Okay. So these ideas we can weave into our sales industry as realtors, financial planners, whatever we might be. How do we create an experience for the client that we serve, right? It's not necessarily about being nice. It's about being intentional, right? And just being a little bit different so that you're not forgotten. I've talked in front of your seminars before, right? In this industry, whether you're a realtor or someone else, right? You don't need to win by much. You need to win by a nose, right, Brock? But the prize winnings are 3 times greater, right? So that means instead of sending a text message saying thank you for the referral, it's taking an extra minute to put a stamp on an envelope, to get a handwritten note out the door, and maybe a Starbucks card that says, thank you so much for that referral. That's
I
just a little
started
bit.
to I started to do this a lot more because of you, because I get them. So I was just like, so I have to do 20 a week
20 a
is
week.
my
That's what
goal.
I do. 20 a
Yep.
week. Exactly. So I love it, man. That's great. So it's about making an impact with the way that we run our business. So let's talk a little bit about segment #1, which is redefining hospitality in sales. So intentionality, creating emotional connection. I'm going to use examples of some of the things that I do. I am not trying to be braggadocious. I'm really just trying to show you how you can create systems for creating hospitality and sales that help you make those connections, right? So when we do an application for a client that comes in, Brock, you already know this. We do a personal handwritten thank you note, and we do a lottery ticket. And we say something corny and like, we hope you win it big, right? I get these text messages from people like, oh my gosh, I got this thank you note in the mail, or I won $2. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? It's
Lottery
that,
tickets gold. It is gold, everybody.
right? It's just the touch, right? When you go to the mailbox, what do you see? You sort through bills and junk mail. And then when you get that one little thank you note, it's like, oh, there's this just brightened my day before I even opened it, right? So what does that look like for you in your industry? When you make that first connection with a potential client, how are you creating a hospitality experience? How are you creating an experience for them that's just a little bit better than the next gal or guy doing exactly what you do? And there's something that you can do. Maybe it's a video text, right? That says, hey, I had an amazing conversation with you. I'm super excited about meeting you for this listing appointment. If there's anything that comes up between now and the time that we have an appointment, text me. I want to make sure that when I get there, I'm delivering an experience for you. I want to show you how I take care of you. And it's all about me giving you personal touches and paying attention to the details, right? Maybe it's a thank you note. Maybe who knows what that is, right? But you've got to figure out what is it you're doing and what's one thing you can elevate with that first experience in hospitality. And maybe it's a closing experience, right? I've seen agents deliver what do you call that? A cutting board, right? It says, hey, congratulations on your new house. Well, did you learn through that 60-day or 90-day experience that they have 2 daughters and dance? Did you learn from that 60-day or 90-day experience that the mom really likes a book group and she's into reading? Did you learn the husband really is into the Carolina Panthers? So could we deliver a closing gift that incorporates small little thoughtful items that tie back to all of their likes and their interests, right? Takes a little more effort, right? Takes a little more time, takes a little more collaboration, but now you've delivered a thank you gift that has personal impact versus a cutting board that has your logo on it, right? And I'm not telling you anything that you're doing is wrong, but how do we redefine our hospitality in the way that we run our business? So every interaction is an opportunity to create a memory. That's one of the quotes from the book, right? And people won't care how much you know unless they really know how much you care, right? We know that as well. That's a quote from Margaret Tyson. So redefining hospitality and sales really is, I want you to be thinking today about how can I look at my process and go a little bit deeper with my client experience. For those of you that have met with me on a one-on-one, I have what they call an all about you form. An all about you form. I'm happy to deliver this to people on the call after we're done here today. The all about you form is, right? Tell me about you. When's your birthday? When's your anniversary? What are your hobbies? What's your favorite sports team? What's your favorite candy? What's your favorite this? What's your favorite that? Right? By the end of me doing that all about you form, how does the client feel? Are you talking about, do they want 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms? Are you talking about how much money they want to have in the bank when they are done retiring? No, you're getting to know them. Now you have this really Bible for how to connect with that client. What's important to them? Well, how many kids do they have? Do they have any dogs? Do you show up at closing with your gift basket with some doggy treats, right? In the gift bag, whatever. Do you remember their birthday, etc.? So I could go on and on and on. I have an all about you form that I can share with you to help you redefine how hospitality works when you deliver a client experience. All right. Brocky, I didn't hear what you said.
Yeah. I said since you're on our the Brock Zevan's mindset, the private page, if you can drop that into the Facebook private page, that would be great. Then
I'd be happy to do that.
that way people can get it.
And many of you have experienced when I've met with you the first time, that's all I do. I don't talk about loan programs. I don't talk about products. I just want to know about you. All right, segment number 2 is really about hospitality as a growth strategy. Okay, so things to be thinking about. Are you building emotional equity with your client? How does your hospitality turn your clients into advocates, right? Turning your clients into advocates. And Brock, I'm going to kind of sidebar for just a second here and share with you a story. Jackie and I met yesterday. We had a nice quick appointment. And when I had a client experience here where I asked for some referrals, and we're going to do a whole little segment on this as well in the future, and is how to better ask for referrals. So when I had my very first appointment with a couple of first-time buyers, we did the normal standard loan application, not exciting stuff, right? Where do you work? How much do you make? Blah, 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 blah. At the end of the conversation with the realtor on the group call, okay, I asked the clients, did they know that people who own a home are 60% wealthier than people who don't? They said, no, we didn't know that. I said, well, when you become a homeowner, right, I'm going to help you create wealth. Our company tagline is from broker to richer, right? Mortgage broker to richer. Makes sense? Kind of fun, right? So at the end of the call, I asked them if I added value by helping them understand what direction and how we're going to create this experience and create wealth for them. They said they liked it. They were excited about it. So on the call, Brock, I asked the wife, let me ask you this. Who do you care about in your circle of influence that you could help create wealth for in real estate? In other words, who could I get connected with in your circle of friends to help buy a home? I said, do you have a brother or sister? She said, yeah, I have a sister. She hasn't bought a house yet. I said, would you do a 3-way introduction on a text message if I send you a little text template? She said, sure. Okay, moving right on. I could have asked then about coworkers. I could have asked about other networks that she's involved with or her interests. I went to the husband on the same phone call. I said, hey, who do you care about that you could introduce me to help create wealth through real estate? I said, do you have a brother or sister? He said, yeah, my brother wants to buy a home. I said, would you introduce me to your brother if I send you a template on a 3-way text? He said, yes. At the end of that call, I had 2 referrals, right? By what was I doing? Delivering an experience, elevating my hospitality, showing how I'm adding value, and then said to the realtor, with the realtor on the call, once these 2 buyers are qualified, I'm going to bring them back to you. Now, I created a hospitality experience for the realtor partner, never done a deal with the realtor in my life, but showed her how to deliver an elevated experience and get her referrals just by asking better questions, just by going a little deeper. It makes sense, Brock?
The key thing all that so if you missed it all, go back to this and read, get the transcript. Okay. Transcript, like we have no excuses anymore because there's so much artificial intelligence, but you can get the transcript, you can get the show notes. But you asked a question, Chris. This is very, very important. I share this in my book. He asks a question that basically makes them feel kind of like, and I'm just gonna be honest with you, it makes them feel dumb and stupid if they say no to it. Like, who do you not want to have wealth in your life? The question is asked specifically to make them say, well, yeah, yeah, I know somebody that wants also that I feel that is warm and fuzzy, somebody I love to build wealth for them. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you not
Correct.
want somebody to be wealthy or somebody you care about, a brother or a sister to be able to do it and and to do that? So to me, Chris, that question you asked, out of anything you take, could you say the question one more time so people
Who do
taking
you
notes
care
can really lean
about?
into this?
Who do
Yeah, that
you
was
care
really good.
about, right? That I can help create wealth in real estate for you. In other words, help them buy a home to create wealth.
I
Not
love it.
who do you know that wants to buy or sell real estate? How
Yep.
impersonal does that feel compared to who do you care about that I can create some wealth for? You can
Yeah.
be a part of that creation, right?
I
All
love it.
right. So just kind of going back to segment 2 here, hospitality as a growth strategy, right? In that particular case, I created a higher level hospitality experience for the realtor because I showed the realtor how to get 2 referrals by asking better questions, right? I could have just said, I'll get back to you within the next 24 hours and let you know if you're qualified, and we'll send you a list of paperwork that we need to do. But I ended my call differently than I would have done 5 years ago or 10 years ago, even as a top producing loan officer. I'm getting better every day. That's the point of this show, right, Brock? Like, morning mindset is about how do we get better? How do we help each other each and every day? So sometimes it's really just elevating, right? Notching up just a little bit better than what we do. What are we already doing? How do we ask better questions? How do we deliver a slightly better experience, which is going to lead to growth for you as a realtor, as a financial planner, as an exercise coach, whatever it is you're doing out there in the cyber world here on the call. So some questions to be thinking about there, like what are some extras that I could do to make a difference? Like thank you notes, like remembering birthdays and anniversaries, like whatever that might be, right? Like sending a personal video text after the listing appointment that said, wow, it was such a pleasure meeting the 2 of you. I'm so excited about the opportunity to list your home. I want to make sure that I've answered all of your questions. Most of my clients have 2 or 3 questions they forgot to ask me. So I'm sending this video text to say, if there's anything that comes up, let me know. I'm here to answer those questions, but I want to earn your business the old fashioned way. I pay attention to the details. I want you to have an experience when you close your transaction with me, right? So there's all kinds of little things that we can do to use hospitality as a growth strategy. Last point, Brock, that I'm just going to touch a little bit on, which is just kind of hospitality as branding, right? So branding goes back to is the messaging that you're putting out consistent? Your social media, your text messaging, your emails, any communications that you have, is your brand right consistent, and does it create sort of an emotional signature on what you're all about? Yesterday I was on a call with a realtor, and on her phone when I was talking with her, it has this beautiful image of a key with her initials on it. And so I'm talking with her, instead of seeing a gray silhouette, right, because we never put our picture in our profile, I saw this beautiful branded image with this realtor, and I commented to her, wow, I really liked your branding on this phone call, because her phone call conversation was advertising to me the whole way. Right. Super, super cool. And then she said to me, I love your tagline, from broker to richer. Right. So we kind of shared some fun ideas, but that branding made a difference to me, and my branding made a difference to her. That messaging, the little bit of branding that we put out there, can make a difference. So find something that connects with you in what you do. Come up with something creative. You can put, literally, Brock, you know this, you're using AI, I'm using AI. You can literally go to ChatGPT and say, I want to come up with a really creative tagline in my real estate or my financial planning business or whatever business you're doing. And I want it to incorporate these words, and it literally will spit out 20 different taglines, right? And then you can say, oh, I like this one. Can you play with this? And just have fun with it, right? So you want to elevate your brand, right? Hospitality is all about delivering an experience so that it's consistent. By the time you get to closing, right, you should have clients saying, that was a great experience. You took good care of me. You remember me. You care about me. You're paying attention to the details. And I can't wait to refer you to my next set of friends and family coming in from New York or New Jersey, right? That's where they're all coming from.
Very true.
So I know we're getting short on time. We've got a couple of minutes here. So challenge for our listeners really here today is, number one, I would encourage you to, right, go to Audible or order the book Unreasonable Hospitality, and see if you can get Will's book, Will Guidara. Listen to it. It's an easy listen to. It's such an exciting book to listen to. You'll grab ideas. But maybe what's something you can do this week to elevate your service level, your hospitality, your experience that your client or customer is feeling? And just take one little thing that you can do and start implementing that. We do not turn a ship quickly, right? A big ship. You just have to move it. You just have to really point in the right direction, move a little closer. So pick one thing that you can do to improve your hospitality this week. And it's all about making those little touches that make a big difference, big impact.
So I'm putting it in here, Diane, Unreasonable Hospitality, and
Will Guidara, Guidara.
I will put this, well, let's just be transparent. I will ask Jay to put put this inside of the mindset page. So it's important that you all get to that mindset page. All right. Something else I'm going to share with you all, NotecardCafe, notecardcafe.com. That is where I get my note cards for like 10 cents. You can add words in there if you like, because we like to have the excuse. I'm trying to reduce the friction. I don't have a note card. I forget. Okay. There, you can go right there right away. Then go to the post office and just buy your stamps. Mine are right here next to me. So that way I can do them right away. And then I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I don't like to write my return stamps. So I got a stamp. I don't like to see Chris got a stamp too. So it saves time. It's all about efficiency, because we can come up with excuses more than like anything else. This was like, I don't even know, not even $10, $20 maybe. Okay. It comes in. We want to make this simple. I do the dollar lottery tickets, and sometimes I have to make sure nobody thinks I'm having my son gamble, because Bryce likes to push the button because it's like one of those vendor machines. But that's what we do. We get the lottery tickets and we put it in there. So I love your message today, Chris. It was something that I feel that we get so caught up with AI and Facebook and social media that we forget the experience. And I could say firsthand, Chris, we saw it, because when I went to Disney, Disney does the most amazing job of making sure you get an experience like no other, because people don't remember what you say, they remember how you made them feel.
That's right.
And this was so good, because we forget that with all the other bells and whistles. So thank you, Chris. Appreciate
You're
you, brother.
welcome.
Guys, put a 10 in the chat if you got something out of today. Even if it's one thing, put a 10 in the chat if you got something out of today. Chris is going to put all his that book and all that no, his All About You. Is that what it is, Chris? All About You. He's going to put it
Yep.
in our page. And for those that Chris, Jay will put your contact information as well in the chat. Reach out to him all. He's going to be with us in Nashville. Start building a relationship with the guy now. There's all his stuff right there. Thank you, Jay. And I appreciate your time, Chris.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your week, man. The rest of you as well.
Guys, thank you guys so much for being on here. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:15 Eastern time. Bring a friend, bring your team, bring whoever you want, bring your significant other. Let's just have a party. Tomorrow morning at 8:15, our main man, Mr. Derek Green, is going to be with us all the way from Alaska. And guess what? Cullen will be sitting right beside me. Actually, he might not be because I have to drop off my kids, but it will have some fun anyways. Till then, I appreciate y'all. John Hart, thank you very much for that connection as well. Till then, you guys have a phenomenal day. God bless you. See ya.